Hey everyone, what's up? This is Josh Roy speaking. This is not exactly how I wanted to do this, but it's gonna have to be this way because my computer's acting dumb, and I'm gonna fix that later on. Um, I just a little info about myself. I am an aspiring sports broadcaster and someone who wants to have a talk show one day. And tonight I'm gonna just kind of go through my time here in Chicago as part of the Sports Management Worldwide Hockey Career Conference that was at the NHL Draft that ended earlier today. And pretty much what I'll say is I gained a lot of knowledge out of this. I am learning that to try to get into this business, I gotta use stuff like podcasts and what I'm doing tonight, which is streaming live here on YouTube. And I am more than happy to do that to get my name out. And one thing I gotta say is it's gonna be very interesting to see how things are gonna go and how things are gonna play out in Vegas. And I personally think it could work as long as two things. The fans are stick with them through the times that they are successful and through the times that they struggle, which personally I think they're going to struggle, especially this year being new. Even though they have some good players like James Neal and Marc-Andre Fleury, all the guys are going to be adjusting to playing in a new city like Las Vegas, which, in my opinion, I would never put a team in Las Vegas. I think that's not a smart decision based on all the casinos in Vegas and all the potential gambling that can go on. But again, that's my opinion. If you have different thoughts, you could just comment what you think about the move to Vegas and whatnot. And if you like what I'm doing, please give me the likes and subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be doing more of this. Just thought I'd get that in there now. I think that another thing that I got out of it is that it in the long run, the short term, not having the NHL players in the Olympics will have negative thoughts, will have a negative impact on the image of the league, which I totally disagree with, because I don't think the NHL players should be there to begin with. I think honestly the Olympics should be for the amateur players that are trying to make it to the NHL, and I feel the Olympics is the stage that gives all those college players the chance to shine on an international stage and show these scouts what they can do under this immense pressure. The draft itself, I thought, was fun. As far as the players that got drafted, I think it's going to take them I think it's going to take at least 5 years before we can see if they are the right player, if these teams made the right moves. I think again, I want to say, I think all the teams made the right picks at the time that they made them. But whether they work out or not will depend on the readiness of the player, of all the players that were drafted and those that will eventually come up to the NHL or get selected to the NHL, I should say. And I did a little bit of the draft FanFest today, which was a fun experience. It had stuff like a virtual reality Zamboni drive where you sat in a mini Zamboni, and with virtual reality goggles you drove around on the Zamboni. Well, I should say you virtual reality drove on the Zamboni, which was a cool experience. It also had a few like shooting accuracies, some ranks, a little mini combine, a mini version of the combine, a picture with a Stanley Cup, which I did not do because the lines were very long all day. I did go through the Centennial Fan Museum, which was amazing. It had a lot of different memorabilia in there, like a Quebec Nordiques jersey, a Cleveland Barons jersey. It had a bunch of old skates, old goalie equipment, especially goalie masks. It had pictures of the past in the NHL. And this was my first trip to Chicago, which I gotta say I had a blast. I discovered that there are malls that are more than 2 stories, which was new for me. I also learned that for the most part, there's a lot of stuff that you, being near the Chicago Magnificent Mile, from where my hotel is about a couple blocks over, which was all walking distance, so that was very good. The conference was at the Chicago Marriott and the downtown near the Magnificent Mile, which from my hotel is about a 4-minute walk to the Water Tower Place mall. The Water Tower Place itself was about a 10-minute walk, and a lot of the cab drivers I had to take were all friendly. Bus service to and from Chicago from the downtown Marriott was very convenient. I was able to do a lot of one thing I thought was pretty cool was being able to take a picture with wearing the new Adizero Adidas hockey jerseys, which they're now using this year, which I think is going to be good for the league in the long run, because they can get more money. They could probably get more sales from Adidas products than they were Reebok, which, I mean, I know that's kind of a silly thing to think about, but looking at it from a marketing standpoint, you could easily make more money on it. And here we go. So pretty much what I've learned is when it comes to drafts, scouting is very important. The fans are an important part. Even making first impressions are very key. I also learned trying to getting into this league, getting into this industry, into particularly hockey or any industry. You want to be persistent but not annoying. I also learned that there will be setbacks, which I'm okay with that. I understand. I learned networking is very important, which I did do. I met quite a few people, including the general manager of the Chicago Wolves, Wendell Young. He was very, very nice, very knowledgeable. Gave me some tips and ideas. I spoke briefly with the NHL director of integrated marketing, Nicole Lee, and she gave me some very good tips on where to go for where to look for internships, which I am hoping to do that at some point soon here. When it came to the part about sports broadcasting, just give me a second on that. Here we are. This is that old adage of athlete knowing the difference between pain and being hurt. I thought the seventh innings were O'Sullivan said, "Look, this is my guy." And like I said, like I've mentioned with Vegas, it'll really all depend on basically how the Golden Knights will succeed or not succeed in Vegas will to be determined by just basically how they perform. One thing I've also learned is that you also that basically the three things I learned out of it is networking, be persistent, not annoying. And anytime you can find internships, take it. I'm willing to do I'm willing to do the third one, especially. To me, an internship, it doesn't matter if I'm paid or not. I just want it. I want to be in it. I want to learn the business. I want to get into broadcasting, preferably on the radio, but I'll do TV as well if that's what it takes. And I also learned that there are 3 things that are also important into trying to getting into the business, and that is, 1, the first thing is realizing what your heart is calling you to do, meaning that the moment you realize what your heart is telling you to do the second part, which is act on it, do it, go wherever you are, go do it, pour your heart out, pour your soul into it, pour your blood, sweat, and tears all into what you want to do for your career. And number 3 is the moment you realize that everything is sales. This is going to be the part where I'm going to sell myself, and that is, I've been wanting to become a sports broadcaster since I was about 9 or 10 years old. The very first time I found this out was when I went to the Basketball Hall of Fame in Springfield. I went to the area where you could pretend to be a reporter from the Basketball Hall of Fame. I did the report. I heard myself listen to it, and that's when I realized that this is the industry I want to get into. This is where I want to be. This is my passion. That is the most important part, is that I realized that this is my passion. Now, I do plan on doing more streams. I'm going to do a stream every Saturday night after professional wrestling shows are done, which includes WWE's Monday Night Raw, Tuesday Night SmackDown Live, NXT on Wednesdays, Lucha Underground on Wednesdays, Impact Wrestling on Thursdays, and New Japan Pro Wrestling on Fridays. And if I get it in time, Ring of Honor whenever it's shown. On Sundays, I plan on doing, well, with an exception to this Sunday. Oh, maybe I'll do it this Sunday, but I plan on doing a review of all the professional golfing tours, the European Tour, obviously the PGA Tour, the PGA Tour Champions, the LPGA Tour, and the Web.com Tour. I plan on hopefully giving some thoughts on the night of the week of hopefully the week of baseball, but I'm not sure yet. I'll figure that out, and also too, I'll take any suggestions from you guys in the comments below. Tell me how I did. Critique me. I am open for critiques. Again, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. If you want to see more videos, that'll come your way. Hit the subscribe button. And I'm Josh Roy, and I am out.